Okay, so I'm back at the Josephine mine, the lost Josephine mine on Hoyt Peak, and I'm with Tom, who's seen this door clear down here, but he had his two brothers with him, and one of them brothers is his twin brother Tim. And I got both Tim and Tom here. Tom, made a promise to God that he wouldn't go back down in this, if he helped show him the way out. And I'll tell you the story later. But Tim never made that, Tim never made that promise, and Tim's gonna go down and show us, try and figure out where it was they was at, where they seen this ancient looking door. So I wanna know, Tim and Tom, I wanna know about this door. Tell me how you came up here in the first place, your experience going down, and about finding this door and then getting out and all. I just wanna hear that story. So with that, take it away.
Okay. Well, I had a talk with my youngest brother, and he couldn't remember.
And he's the brother that was with you?
Bob, which he was not with us.
Oh, okay. You thought it was him.
And Gary, the deceased brother, he's deceased now. I talked to him, and he come right out with a right big detail of what happened. I thought my younger brother had kind of a selective dementia or something because he couldn't remember it. My dad was with us. We had a 1963 Willys Jeep. He put a harness on each one of us as he lowered us down in. We run a 6x6 across the top of the funneled hole. There was logs around the perimeter. If you look into Stephen Schaefer's book, there's a picture of it. You can see the picture. Okay, that's all I'll talk about the riders. So we went down the ladder, got down there, and we all went down the real steep, slick slope and made the turn, and we come up to what Andrew calls the Wizard's Hat Chamber. I remember that, but the History Channel's hole, the wormhole, they must have. June says they moved rocks and debris out of there is how they found this other hole. So we went back up 15 feet and come to this, what I call a pit, and he calls it a starting of a stope, a 45. So we got down in there thinking, well, let's see if there's any mineral in here. And I looked down in there and I couldn't see nothing, and I could feel the drift. And I was on my knees, and I looked up, and I could see a sinkhole, like a riverbank when the water washes, the trout are underneath it. Yeah. It was kind of a upward. So your optics didn't tell you that was there when you're standing on the top.
You couldn't see it.
Nope. We crawled through where I feel was mined. They mined the area we crawled through. He calls a wormhole. And then we come out to another chamber, and it tapered out to where you could finally stand up and walk. And as we got up to where we could stand up, I seen on the ceiling an arrow. In my opinion, it was carved in. An ancient carving. It was not a spray can spray. It was carved in. And it was a brownish, dark brown color, in my opinion. I mean, we had old whites back in '73, so we're just going on what your vision. Yeah. So we continued down through that slope chamber, and then we went into another little chamber, which I would say was 8 by 16 feet. And Gary was in the lead, and as he come to this opening, there was a big quartz mined out where they mined out quartz. It was quartz completely around the whole vein there. And as he stepped in the room, says, "Did you see that?" And I says, "What are you talking about?" He says, I seen a dog." I says, "No, a coyote or something." And he said it scampered off around there. Like me and my brother Tom did not see what he's seen because he's seen it. He was the first one in. Yeah. So I told Tom and Gary, I says, "I'm going to stand right here, so we don't have a rope or nothing to show us the way back out. I'm going to stand here so we don't get lost."
Yeah.
So them two worked their way down this rock. In my opinion, it was kind of a cliff wall, but there's rocks there so they could get down around the big mound of dirt that was sitting in the middle of this big room. They went around the room, and I'm standing there. He went probably 50% away around that 50-foot room, and he says, Tim, there's a door here. Do you see it? And I turned out my light because I had glasses at that time and I couldn't see it. I turned the lights out and I looked and I said, yeah, I can see the door, but I'm 50 feet away because I'm to stand in this hole so it'll get lost.
Yeah.
So they went around and you heard his analysis of when he went up into the, I called not a shaft, but a stope. I couldn't see what was around that mound because they disappeared. Then they finally come back through. They come back up to me, and we worked our way through the first room, and then come up to the tapered room, and we all looked at each other. I don't know if we're going the right way or not. You remember that? You could not visually see the way out. So we got thinking, and we looked up the ceiling, and the arrow was the reason. We knew we had to go right where that arrow was, and we got down on our knees, and it was up in and back up through and back down into the pit. That's 30 feet of crawling on our bellies, which he calls a wormhole. And we got out and went up, and he winched us all out. And it was dark when we come out of the shaft, and he says, I was just getting ready to call the sheriff because I was thinking you guys had trouble down in there. He didn't know what to do, my dad, you know.
Yeah.
And that's when he said what he said. He said, I'm not going back in there. I made a promise to God, because he was the one with the lights that was going out, and we had these old lights back in '73. But I'm going to tell you right now, I do not remember the wormhole, the History Channel, the one with the 5-foot ladder.
Yeah.
June told me they moved rocks and stuff, and that's why I didn't see it. I did talk to June before he died in, I think it was April when I talked to him, and that's what he told me. And I believe he was sincere when he was telling me that.
So back to this door. I mean, you was quite a ways away from it.
50 feet at least.
What do you remember it looked like? Did the craftsmanship, did it look like
Remind me of Dungeons and Dragons, the old thing you'd played on video games.
The castle doors, huh?
Yeah, but it didn't have the big old ornamental stuff on it. All I could see is the shape of a door. I'm 50 feet away. Remember that. I got garbage lights, and I could see their lights flicker and shining
on the door.
Yeah, but if you one thing about the stories, the Lanny Seeley and Jim Nay's story in Footprints of the Wilderness. You got to go back to it. He experiences seeing a door too. He finds 2 Roman coins down in there. So that's kind of important to remember. He did witness seeing a door down in there.
So I want to go back and the significance of this door, because this is supposedly the lost Josephine mine. There's a document, a waybill, saying what's supposed to be behind a wooden door, and it's $1 billion worth of treasure.
Yeah,
besides, that's natural. Gold bars, silver bars, or not natural, but that's poured, smelted gold bars, silver bars. There's $1 billion worth of that there, on top of slabs of virgin silver and gold nuggets and all that that's supposed to be down deep. So that's the importance of this door. But like you said, the Roman coins that were found down in here, who left them Roman coins down there? Is this
Aztecs?
Is this door attributed to the Romans or somebody older than the Spanish? Because
259 AD according to the books.
So anyways, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to go down, and Tim, you're gonna say, man, that either we was going the wrong way or the right way, and we're going to pinpoint the right direction we need to be going to find this door.
I promise you one thing right now. What I told Andrew, I wouldn't have wasted my time. I wouldn't go down in this wasting my time. I mean, it's a long time ago. It's not the same sinkhole or whatever you want to go. The way you guys with the History Channel went, I didn't go that way. I went down into the first chamber. No way I went in there through the History Channel. You seen me go down in there. And that's not the way we went. My guess is you're 15 degrees more left. And my guess is less inclined. So I estimate the chambers that we were in were above the chambers
that we
and
were in.
to maybe the left of where you were.
Well, with that said, let's suit up. Let's go down. Let's figure out where you guys was at and find this door.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, you two workers that were down in that hole, what sort of rock structure were you in? Was it an L shape, like the pit could be right below you?
Yeah, I mean, it looked like there was more stuff below us,
rock.
but it had caved in with a bunch of rock fall right there.
Right, but on an L shape, solid, right? Where you were
solid
working.
Wall. Yeah.
Do you remember the pit, what I call the pit? What did the walls look like when you looked straight at, not down in the pit, but the structure of the rock or whatever it was?
What had been mined.
Okay, was it solid?
Yeah.
In an L shape?
Yeah.
Solid rock.
Yeah, and it's straight down 6 feet. Well, they're right on it. I promise you, they're on it. You watch and see. You guys are going to be smiling ear to ear when you get down there.
So we'll find out.
Yeah.
Watch and see.
We'll remove the
When
debris.
you get it down to the bottom, you'll find.
You need to show him the pictures too. The pictures of where they were.
Oh yeah, I have video and things of that.
You need to
spot.
show him where they were moving the debris.
Yeah.
And tell me if you don't think that looks right. I won't say no more, and I'll let him show him. So, what do you think, Terry?
Show him your pictures, John, then.
Here's some of the pictures here.
You need glasses?
I got some in the truck.
First, I want to see a picture of the
Oh yeah,
that
right
carbide.
there. There's some carbide writings up on the ceiling in that same spot.
Right
Which is
above
that?
that pit.
4280.
You're on target, believe it or not.
So this is one of the spots here. I don't know if you can see that. Here, let's go back. Right here, see this sheer wall?
Yeah.
So this was another way, but we're like, I don't think that's it. I think it's against that solid rock wall right there.
Yeah.
And that's all been caved in right there. See all that?
Can you show him the
debris.
L shape? How it L shapes there?
See how it goes like that, and there's the other one that does like that.
You know where it is? It's right beside of that wormhole at the History Channel. But it's,
See, there's the wormhole there. But we went to the left to where there's the solid.
now you were going to ask him where the Y was. Is that where the Y is, or is it back up? The Y is the what fake tunnel you started up, and I was following you.
Oh,
Get what I'm saying?
yeah.
There's the Y. We've seen the Y you're talking
So the
about.
Y was wide back this way,
Yeah. Was it
or
wide?
was it wide that way?
Which way?
It was like you're headed that way,
Headed out?
and it was off to your left.
I won't say nothing.
Off to your left.
As you
and-
was headed back out?
No, as you're
Oh.
going down in.
So,
Down.
would you say possibly where it caved in? That's
Yeah.
a Y on the witch's chamber, but the witch's chamber is down, what, 15 feet? But it's on this
What
side.
does that muck look like there? Does it look like it's been blown up, or does it look like it's caved?
Caved.
It's
Yeah.
filled in.
All these big boulders came down from up above and
Yeah.
just caved it all in.
It just sloughed right down in
Yeah.
the pit. In the Y you're talking
Is that
about.
kind of like you're on a 45? Might be it.
I promise you it's it.
See how it's like this? How it's kind of like hollowed out a little bit? That's what I'm talking about. Then the shaft went down. This might be the top of that Y. Is that the ceiling? Or is that the side?
The ceiling has the writing on it.
Yeah, the ceiling has this on it.
That's probably it.
I'll bet you money. I have no doubt that
Digging it out.
you got it. They need a electric jackhammer to move the
To move all
rocks.
the boulders that have fallen down in there.
They're on target. I know they are.
Wonder if he could get you a jackhammer to start.
Yeah, if we had a jackhammer, we could go through it pretty quick.
Real
Move-
quick.
move the
I
rocks
got
out
a
of the
big
way.
one, but it's run by air.
No.
No, it's electric.
We want electric and small.
And
Yeah.
then it's so big that you wouldn't be able
Yeah,
to
that'd be
reach
hard.
up.
I got the one they need, and it's down home. The little Makita. We were looking for a mineral deposit, but we didn't see none. So, and then we could feel this draft coming through, and then that's what got me thinking. Maybe there's somewhere that air's going by us. So we got down and looked, and it was down about the knee level, and we could see a wormhole going through there, big enough just to inch away through it. We went through the wormhole and got into these first big room. It was really a small one compared to the last one, but we went through it. And then we went through where it looked like, finally we seen where it looked like they'd been mining to get into the other part a little bit. Probably some quartz and stuff in spots in there, and then we went from that into the next room, and it's kind of like a pile of rocks, just about like what was on the History Channel, and I could still feel the breeze, and so we went over to the edge, and
my brother and them, we decided to leave one up there to make sure if something happened we could get back out of there. But so we kind of stepped to climb down these boulders and went to the right and went around and climbed down to the bottom, and Tim stayed up at the top, and me and Gary proceeded down in and went through and went around the big boulders that looked like big slabs had dropped from the ceiling and in the middle of the room. And my brother says he said it was a dog, but I'd say it was probably a coyote, but I never seen it, but he did. I'm just telling you what I remember. I'm not going to fabricate nothing. I want you to know what I remember. But anyway, we went around that, and we could see the door all the way down in, and went down right in front of it, and it was a beautiful job. Whoever done the door done a good job, because it was totally sealed.
So this just wasn't a half makeshift door. I mean,
no,
this was. Describe this door, how big it is, the craftsmanship on it.
You could have probably drove a car in it.
So it was big.
Yeah.
And it wasn't rickety. It was thick and craftsman-like made.
Yes, it was
something you wouldn't expect to see down in the middle of this cave like this.
We wasn't expecting to see a door. We didn't know there would be a door. We just happened on across it. And in the middle, one other thing I remember, on the bottom there was like little tools at the very bottom, and I couldn't recognize what they were. But we didn't pay much attention back then. It looked like junk. So right in the left side towards him on that wall was a big vein, quartz vein of quartz. It looked like it was that thick. In the middle of that door, it went down in front of that door. The door was in front of that vein of quartz, and it proceeded up into the big cavity. The room was probably 30 to 50 feet high. And then we went by the door because we could still feel the current of air, and went by and went down in a drift like had been mined by miners at one time, or Spanish, I don't know who done it, but we went in there and it was caved in about probably 50 feet into it, big boulders in the way, but it totally couldn't have been totally caved in because that air was flowing through that. And that was on the opposite side of where he was watching. So the vein was right here, and to your right was, you walked another 20, 30 feet, and there was a drift there. And we went in, and it was caved in, so we thought, God, the lights are getting a little dim. We better turn around and get out of here. And so we hurried, and we started using just one of the lights because we didn't want to run out of light. We wanted to get out of there, so we proceeded up to Tim and come back out just like we went in, and that's the way I remember. Is there anything else you wanted to?
So what's this promise to God you made? Why did you make a promise to God you'd never come back down here?
Well, we was about out of light, and we got looking and couldn't. She said, I don't know where to go, you know. And
you couldn't find your way back out?
We was above the door, and I mean the tunnel. And I went back down a little bit, and when I said that prayer, I turned the light on, and there was the arrow point now. That's what I remember. And it could have been car, but I wasn't paying attention to it.
You just wanted to get out?
Yeah, I was just relieved to find the hole, and I knew we was pressed for time to get out of that hole. And by the way, we was in there, I'll bet how many hours? I can't imagine it.
Minimum 6.
We was in there a long time, so.